Right. Hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of
Number uno.
What is this going to be called? What do we have a name for this or?
That's a good question, Ode.
Oh, hold on. Let me get you in my. Turn your camera on Discord, or is that not going to work?
That could work.
Because then I can see you. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, guys. This is a bit of breathing problems. Is that the word? Teething problems. That's fine. That's fine. I'm all right with that. Right. So I'll put a screenshot of what I see on the screen right now. Hold on. Let me take a screenshot. Cool. So yeah, first episode. We haven't got a name for this yet, so I'm sure we'll think of a name by the time we upload it. But if you've got any suggestions, put in the comments. I mean. Any initial thoughts or?
I don't know how I'm going to do this without making it like my SM7B is my penis.
We should have set this up beforehand, shouldn't we? Oh, sorry for all the audio listeners right now on Spotify or any other podcast streaming platforms.
Yeah.
We're just having a bit of mic problems on DJ Dwight's end. So should we just quickly introduce ourselves?
Right, yeah, go on then.
I think that'd be good. So, do you want to go first or?
No, you go first. You know.
Right, so you probably know who I am if you've clicked on this because it's on my Instagram page. I'm not saying that to be like stuck up or anything, but do you know what I mean?
You are stuck up. It's okay.
I'm Ollie, and I make music, and that's about it. Nice. And now I'm a podcaster. So, yeah.
These times have got us podcasting. I didn't expect that one.
So
expected many things, but not this.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get some. I think we should get some guests on in the future. Like, so we.
Yeah, definitely. We got a nice sofa right here, so we can maybe one day.
Maybe one day we can have a proper podcast studio.
Yeah, and maybe have two camera angles. So one on the sofa, one.
Maybe we'll be able to pay someone to operate the second camera.
Maybe
that would
like
be a
unbox
dream.
therapy, you know.
Yeah, unbox therapy style. And he got into controversy though, didn't he, recently?
He did a bit, but I think we need to get two of these chairs so we can sit side by side and interview the contestants or
maybe
other
two sofas
on.
Though. Two sofas would be quite nice because it's more comfortable, more relaxed.
Maybe, or just have someone sit on the box. We've got a nice chest over here.
Yeah. Anywho, go on, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I'm Ollie. I'm also Ollie. I don't make music.
What do you do?
That is a very good question. I can do everything but nothing. I think that's a good way of putting it, Jonathan.
That's a good answer. That is a good answer, actually. I'll let you have that.
Yeah, I make things happen, but I don't actually do anything.
He's just a good guy to have around, really.
I guess so. I like to see people succeed. I like to see my mates succeed. And I guess that.
In tough really. Times, he's the guy who
sticks with you,
pushes you on. Do you know what I mean? If you're feeling down, he'll give you a slap up the arse. But
oh Jesus, yeah, that's the
is
one.
that a good way to put it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And keep everything organised and on top of everything. So
yeah.
Just making sure that what we have to do gets done, and we know what we have to do, and we're not just fucking around making shit for no reason, which isn't going to go anywhere.
Well, so DJ Dwight does a lot. Well, a bit and a lot. I don't know how to explain it, but he does a lot on the show side of things as well. For me, for instance, like coordinating things between the rest of the team. Maybe we should do an episode where we get the rest of the team who does the
squad on. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That'll be a good little episode. Robbie be on the visuals.
Do you want Shajan on the podcast? That's the question.
Oh, it could be a bit of banter. I think he'd switch on a serious mode though, like on the podcast.
Think so. We might need to EQ his voice a bit lower or try and send a few decibels down a bit.
Yeah.
Pitch shift them a bit.
Yeah, like you.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, that's why I bought this microphone to help me potentially
the
get a lower voice,
the microphone. But I don't think the microphone's going to cut it to cover up your baby voice. I mean,
if I go a bit closer, does this make any difference?
Well, it just sounds like ASMR.
Yeah, maybe not. So yeah, first question then, Ollie.
Oh, we're going for questions. We've got questions, have we?
Yeah. I'm going to ask you some questions, mate.
I've written down one question for you.
You've written down one question. So on my bit of paper, I've written down a few questions, actually. They're all kind of interlinked slightly.
Okay,
although, little did I know, I can't read my own handwriting. Another thing you might not know.
DJ Dwight can't spell.
I'm good with my words, but I can't get them on paper. Or, in fact, anything for that matter. Yeah. They're in here, but getting anything out of here is difficult. That's why I struggle to make music, because it's all up here, but I can't actually get what's up here onto anything.
Yeah. Also, because you don't have a commitment. That's probably a problem.
What do you mean commitment?
Like, you sit at the computer for about 10 minutes and then get bored, and you're like, wow.
Mate, I made a whole beat called Yeah in 15 minutes. I think that's
exactly. 15 minutes is your cap. That's your cap on how long you can...
I'll tell you what's really funny, actually, to be fair. When it comes to music, though, I used to learn... My dad is a pianist. When I was younger, he used to try and sit me down as a 6-year-old and, like, basically force-feed me how to play the piano.
Yeah.
That obviously didn't go too well.
That was the same with me, but it's sports instead of music.
Yeah, well, sports, my mum on the I don't know, sports as well, but I guess more to the piano. But what was interesting with the piano is I used to only ever learn the first, like, 6 to 10 bars. So I know, like, the first 6 to 10 bars of, like, 20 songs, but I don't know any...
it just piano, or was there a bit of violin in there, maybe a bit of guitar, things like that?
No, I ran away from
the sister plays violin, doesn't she?
Well, no, yeah, she does. I mean, I've always run away from the violin because it sounded so utterly shocking. A good violinist sounds amazing, but you have to be bloody talented to play the violin, because it's probably one of the hardest. But though Mum used to play the guitar, and I'd say used to, and she never used to play the guitar. She found a guitar in her grandma's house, and she's kept it, and it's the most out of tune and the shittest guitar you've ever right. And I had a dream as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old at primary school. I was like, I really want to be an electric guitarist. I wasn't allowed to buy an electric guitar. They would not let me buy a fucking...
You've got to play the acoustic guitar first, mate.
Yeah, that's what Mum said. She's like, oh, but it's okay, we don't even have to buy one. I've got one in the loft. Anyways, we brought this guitar down from the loft. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, I was in a class of, there was 3 of us playing the guitar at the time in this group lesson at primary school, and I used to end up playing in the orchestra. I couldn't read music, so I used to make up the notes during like rehearsals.
Cool story, bro. Cool story. That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, I used to make up the notes, and then I realised, obviously, the guitar wasn't the one.
Well, maybe just stick to the behind the scenes part, I think.
Yeah, but what is also interesting, like when I actually do play the piano, I'm very how would you put it? You obviously get some people who are quite like stuck, like the fingers are a bit, rigid.
The fluid doesn't flow from hand to hand. You can get one hand, but not the other. Like
no, I've got both hands.
I'm like really people fluid. In general.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess
like,
so.
But I think you get to a point where it's like you just have to get over that little hurdle to get the 2 hands going. Maybe it's just me. I'm just such an idiot about playing musical instruments. Like, I don't know.
Kind of like linked together. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think reading 2 lines at once is difficult, but if you learn them together, I don't know. I've never been able to read music, so I have full respect for people who can read music. I mean, the closest I can get to reading music is the tab for ukulele.
Can Mr. Classical read music? I think he can.
Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, he can.
We'll get him on the show at some point. He's a very good film composer, talent.
Yeah. Very talented. I mean, he taught himself how to play the piano in 6th form and read music.
He taught himself how to play piano. He taught himself how to play piano. He's taught himself how to play guitar.
Bass. Yeah, bass.
That weird fucking Chinese instrument. I don't know. He has loads of weird quirks, but we'll get him on at some point. We'll get him on.
No, definitely. I think we should. Is it bad saying he's Mr. Rook's prodigy or?
Oh, I don't know. That's a bold statement. Maybe we should get T-Dog on at some point.
Maybe T-Dog.
That would be a good show. He's one of our old music teachers from school.
Yeah,
like a legend.
Ginger.
An absolute legend.
He is an absolute legend. He's also, he's a fellow ginger of ours as well.
He also gave you that mic stand, didn't he?
That mic stand. He did indeed give me the mic stand. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The mic stand might have disappeared.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I have returned a few favours though. Like I returned his gown. I borrowed his headmaster's gown once.
Yeah.
And then he forgot I'd taken it, or hadn't realised I'd taken it. He's a good guy. We like Mr. Rick.
He's a legend. He's a legend in the music world.
We do like him.
I think he did some film composition as well before he started becoming a teacher.
Yeah. He also ran some studios, or was it school? No, it wasn't. It was a studio, I think. It was a studio.
Well, he worked in he engineered loads of studios. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it was for specific art. We'll find out. It doesn't matter. We'll find out when he comes on the show, because he will come on.
What door does he represent though? He helps. He's an ambassador for a door. Yeah, like a digital audio workspace.
Soundtrap.
That's the one. They Soundtrap actually decided to give me a nice Spotify for Artists water bottle, which I was very jealous of actually.
Yeah, I'd quite like the Spotify for Artists water bottle.
Yeah, no,
it's a shame really.
Satin black.
He decided to prioritise his girlfriend over me about giving the gift.
No, she was there. No, she was there at the time. She got given one as well. I can't remove a gift she's given.
Well, you could have been like, Ollie wants a water bottle. He's more of an artist.
But she's an artist.
But she's not a Spotify for artists.
Oh, she will be.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sharing is caring. Anyways, to my first question.
Go on then.
And this is the only question I've got written down.
One and only. Go on. Hit me.
What's your favourite bag of crisps?
My favourite bag, right? Okay, my bag of crisps. It's evolved over the years. There's been multiple favourites in the lifeline. When I was at primary school, my favourite crisp used to be the Skip. My grandma used to always buy Skips, and whether in the car or on the sofa, I used to have a bag of Skips, and you can put the Skips on your tongue. And for everyone who knows Skips, they're you stick them on your tongue. They frazzle and it goes all cool. And then I kind of evolved from those to the bacon Frazzles, or what were they called? Were they called Frazzles?
Frazzles?
Yeah, the bacon strip crisps.
Frazzles.
Yeah, Frazzles. Yeah, I used to love the Frazzles.
Yeah.
And I kind of evolved from Frazzles, and then I loved Pom-bears. And to be fair, I still do love the Pom-bear. And then I kind of went for a phase of maturing a little bit, and it's kind of flipped between the Walkers.
You've matured a bit now in your crisp selection, haven't you?
I have indeed, yeah. So it's between the Walker's Ready Salted and the Walker's Salt and Vinegar. But actually, I have recently tried the Co-op's version of the Ready Salted crisps, because the Walker's ones seem to disappear quite quickly off the shelves, and obviously in the time we can't. Pickers can't be beggars can't be choosers.
Walker's is the favourite of a lot of households right now who are going out and mass buying these products, aren't they? So
yeah, exactly. But actually, I would really recommend you try the Co-op ones, because they're a lot less oily and they're a lot less greasy, but they taste actually really, really nice and more organic, should I say. So I do really organic. Like currently
maybe it reminds you of your childhood with the Pom-bears, because they're quite organic, aren't they?
Yeah, no, the Pom-bears are cool. The Pom-bears are also really nice because for all you gluten-free freaks watching this or listening to this podcast,
hey, let's be inclusive of the gluten-free people. Let's not call them freaks.
Nah,
they're good guys.
I mean, to be fair, I can't have lactose, so I'm a bit of a freak. I'll take that one on the chest.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I'm joking. They're not freaks. But all the gluten-free lads out there, or lasses.
Inclusive. Got to be inclusive of everyone.
Inclusive indeed. The Pom-bears are a good shout because they're for everyone, and you can't. Who doesn't love a nice teddy bear?
Yeah, although I feel a bit guilty sometimes eating the teddy bear.
Yeah, really?
It's a bit of a situation, isn't it? When you're wanting to eat a nice crisp, and then you take it to your mouth, and it's like this poor bear just gonna get killed.
Vegans might not like it.
Yeah. T-Dog, Mr. Rook, the music teacher, he's a vegan.
So it's Mark. We need to get Mark on.
Yes, we need to get Mark on. He does a lot of photography for me and things like that.
He does.
So,
but back to the crisp story. Yes. So one day, Ollie was staying around mine, and I do believe, Ollie, you decided to eat crisps really, really loudly at
can I? Let me explain this. Go
on then.
So DJ Dwight over here, it was a late night or something, and
it was the night before Rock Night actually.
Yeah, it was 2 a.m. or something like that. So his entire family had gone to sleep. So he was getting really pissy if I were to make a noise or anything about, because his room's quite close to the rest of the rooms. So he'd get really pissed off if I were to like creak the chair a bit or something. So I had a bag of crisps, and I didn't realise it was the most fucking ridiculous thing to do at the time, obviously. But apparently bags of crisps are quite loud. I was opening the bag of crisps, and in the corner of my eye, I was like, "What are you doing?"
And then you just wanted to call Vera, didn't you, on your Instagram live?
Yes. I called him while I was eating my bag of crisps. I was like crunching, like, just each crisp.
See, I have respect for my family, whereas this kid decides to play music at like, what, 3-4 in the morning.
I have respect. It's isolated from the house, this room.
Yeah, you're a bit lucky on that. See, you've got a nice old house with thick walls. Our house is a bit newer and it's got thinner walls. Yeah. Sticky one. That's why I built the studio. So
DJ Dwight's actually sitting in his new studio as we speak right now, I think.
Yeah, I am indeed.
The panel's up on the wall. I don't know what the camera can see, but like it's quite a nice little space.
What can the back of my head see?
The back of your head, I can see the window and the sofa.
Nice. Can you see I've got MDF panels because I decided that would be really cool to have like a starry ceiling. So I've bought some big MDF panels and some optic lights actually, as well as some LEDs to create like a big halo. Yeah, I'll get those out one day. We can have a mess around. Maybe I can do a little video of me creating the ceiling. Who knows?
A little vlog, maybe. Maybe we could become vloggers as well during this quarantine period.
Maybe indeed.
Well, that's all the questions I've got for you. So
that's all. Oh, blimey, you really went in when you went in, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's the end of the show. No, I'm only joking.
Jesus. I've got a few questions for you.
Have you?
I do indeed. They're a bit more elaborative.
Okay.
First one, right? So you've got a plate of food in front of you. It could be anything
What is
like.
this? What is this?
It could be anything you like. What do you add? Do you add salt or do you add pepper?
Salt, of course.
Or a salt boy?
I would never. I like pepper when it's cooked.
I like pepper when it's cooked. So if you had like a roast chicken, you'd put pepper on it.
Yeah, pepperise the chicken.
Pepperise the chicken.
I'm not going to be having pepper on just like food's out, just pour it on. Nah, not for me.
No, I'm with you on that. But would you ever have like crushed pepper, or like you can even get the whole grate and you like crush it up, so it's not like the grinder pepper on like steaks and stuff with like rock salt. Actually, do you have a favourite salt? Do you have a favourite salt?
What is this? I'm sorry for all the viewers listening to this right now, wondering. No,
that's a big question because you have some of them like the chip shot white salt, which is really bleached and really fine. Like
no, I don't like the fine. I'm not a fan of the fine salt. I prefer a nice sea salt that I can get a grip and
you like a sea salt.
Grind on the food.
Nice. I really like the rock salt. You ever had the pink rock salt?
Oh, actually, that is a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Nice. Although actually, when you have crisps though, what would you go for then? A salt and vinegar with a normal salt, or would you have like the sea salt and vinegar crisps? The malt vinegar.
To be quite honest with you, if we're talking about crisps again, my favourite crisps, I don't know what it is, but if anyone's watching this in the UK, you've got to try this. In Iceland, they do an Iceland own brand crisp, which is £1, so it's a good deal. It's a big bag of crisps.
We're not talking about the country. We're not talking about the country Iceland.
No, we're not talking about the country Iceland. Talking about the
shop. Big store in the UK.
Yeah,
there's a shop.
They have a big bag of crisps. Big bag like that big, £1, and get the salt and vinegar one. Well, you can't see, but the viewers will see.
It's okay.
Yeah, so you fucking put me off my train of thought now. Oh yeah, crisps. So big bag crisps, £1, and it's the most vinegariest crisp. If you're a salt and vinegar fan like me, I love salt and vinegar. Like these crisps right here, like what is this? McCoy's salt and vinegar crisps. They don't do the trick for me. Like they're not vinegary enough. I'll have them.
Nice though.
No, I like my head to be blown off with vinegar.
Do you like vinegar actually? You do.
I love vinegar. It's a great. That's probably my favourite sauce, or maybe Nando's seasoning would be better. But I don't know.
Watching. Who's the baker? Is it Nadia? I was watching Nadia on BBC One the other day, and she was going. She was going around Europe, trying different vinegars. It's actually really interesting because obviously the vinegars taste different all around the world. And there was some vinegar. She was like, I want to bake a cake with this vinegar. You should check it out. It's really
but she's probably at the level. She's at the level where she can taste the vinegar and be like, yeah, I'll use this for this, do this for this.
Yeah.
Like me, vinegar tastes pretty similar. All vinegars. Maybe.
So I think there'll be someone in the comments who's roasting you saying vinegars taste different.
Well, if they've gotten this far, we've been going for about 20 minutes now. That's pretty good.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
I thought this was going to crash after 5 minutes, to be honest with you.
I mean, I think I need to, at some point, my camera only allows me to record for half an hour. So at some point,
okay, fair enough.
Indeed. But real question, though, another one. Explain your sleeping patterns.
My sleeping patterns?
Yeah, you have a weird routine to most of us.
Do I? Well, I think if any producers are watching at home, this is quite similar for all producers and DJs and things. But I wake up usually at around 1, 2 in the afternoon, and I go to bed at maybe 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, something like that.
See, that's interesting. See, when I'm in the creative flow, I can do that. And obviously, when I went to Boston to see Vera, we went in the studio. The session we were doing was because their recording studios open at midnight and they close at 6 in the morning for students.
You see.
So that was absolutely fine. But on a day to day, if I did that every day, especially
what time
with my
did you finish
stuff,
that session? Did you stay until 6 in the morning?
Yeah, we went right up. We almost got kicked out as well. It's actually really funny. The engineer was really pissed with us.
Jesus.
Did
Daddy Dwight stay until 6 in the morning?
Yeah, Daddy Dwight stayed up. It was weird though because obviously we were up all day and then obviously we flew, so we were jet lagged. But obviously they're behind us, so we then obviously stayed up we were up for 36, 40 hours straight, and then we got the train.
That got really a jet lag though.
No, it didn't even, because then we had 2 hours sleep before we got on a plane to New York. And then obviously once you've flown and you've woken up and you have to travel to and check in or whatever, like it was then kind of we arrived in New York at like 11:30 the next day, really wide awake again. So we'd almost gone nearly 3 days without sleeping.
That's pretty good. That reminds me of when me and Robbie
crazy.
B went to Amsterdam and we didn't get a hotel. For ADE this was. We didn't get a hotel. We just stayed up for the 2 or 3 days. I can't remember how long it was. I think it was 3 days. Because we flew in on the Friday and we left on the Sunday, I believe. So we didn't get a hotel. We just, because there are parties and stuff, in the evening. So we just went to the parties and things like that and just kept ourselves busy in the daytime.
Just found out all night at McDonald's.
I don't think oh no, it was a Starbucks we went to. I had a little nap in a Starbucks.
Starbucks or Costa?
Oh, I don't really drink coffee, to be honest with you.
You're a
coffee connoisseur.
Yeah, I prefer. I don't really like either. I'm a bit of a strange one. Maybe I'm not alone on this. I don't like coffee out of a paper cup. I only like coffee out of a ceramic cup.
Fucking hell.
No,
so
it takes.
Do you bring your own cup to Costa and Starbucks?
No. I have to get it to sit in. I can't get a takeaway.
Really?
Yeah. If it's in like a paper cup, it just gives me headaches. I don't know what it is. It literally gives me a headache.
That is bizarre, that.
But also, I prefer Costa over Starbucks. I don't know why.
I don't like the Starbucks hot chocolates.
I've never had them.
I wonder if anyone can relate to this, because they just taste really odd. Like, really bitter and not that nice. Like, I'm not sure if Costa's the same, but I prefer, like, maybe you go to, like, some fairs and things like that, and, they have the Cadbury's hot chocolate, like, stands.
Yeah, they're pain.
Yeah, they are delicious.
Because I don't like milk, though, I have to have my hot chocolate with water.
With water? Ugh.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have hot chocolate at all than having it with water. Come on, DJ. No, phone's on silent.
My phone is now on silent.
Hold on a sec.
Indeed.
Let's just check. Yep, I'm still recording. I just wanted to make sure because I didn't put my phone on silent, so it could have got a notification or something. And
I believe mine is still too. Hopefully.
What about the camera? Is the camera doing all right?
Yeah, camera's doing good.
Yeah.
Camera's doing good.
Where were we? Before
Matt, I'm lost. We were at Salt and Pepper, and then it kind of just went to Crisps again, and then it just spiraled back into whatever the fuck.
We should call this just a food podcast. We're just talking about food. We need to talk about.
I've got one more question about food, though.
Okay, all right.
I've got one more question. Why do you like Nando's so much? Why is Nando's your favourite restaurant?
Oh God!
For you guys who don't know Ollie that well and haven't explored the whole of his Instagram account, there is a stories highlight called Din Dins with a
You've done your research on this, haven't you?
With a picture of the black and white Nando's, is it cockerel or chicken?
Yeah.
And if you go through that, Ollie decides to eat an awful lot of Nando's.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the stats on that, to be honest with you. Like,
how much money have you spent at Nando's? Have you not got a black card yet?
No, I haven't got a black card. If Nando's is watching this, which they're probably not, we'll tag Nando's, see if they watch it. I'd quite like a black card, if that's all right. I'm a loyal customer. I go pretty much every week. Black card, is that all right?
Black card. You know, I'm holding up my black card like I'm sending you off the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thing is about that, there's just something about their chicken, I think, that's just so delicious. Like the flavourings, you just can't recreate it. Even with the Nando's, like sauces that you get from the supermarket at home, it just does not match up to the actual real deal restaurant. You know?
No, it doesn't.
I've got to say that. I hate to be that fair, controversial, but
I've really been missing AJ's.
Oh, I really miss AJ's as well.
AJ's or Nando's?
Do you want to explain what AJ's is?
So, yeah, go on then. Near where both of us went to school in Bedford, in the UK.
We're giving away our details here.
Yeah, well, I'm giving the place, aren't I?
The stalkers are going to be... Actually, it's good for their business, so if anyone comes by Bedford, then hit up AJ's.
Yeah, exactly. So on the corner... as you walk from our school, there is a restaurant, a really small restaurant next to a newsagent's called AJ's. And actually, I was only introduced to them.
Actually, I think it's called AM's.
Is it? Has it changed name?
It used to be called AJ's, but I think they changed it to AM because they changed ownership a couple of times. But yeah.
And basically, they're just like what would you call them? What would you say? It's just
a little, a classic. Well, it's not. In London and things like that, you get these classic chicken shops where it's like really cheap food and it's not the best quality. It's like chicken burgers, wings, you name it, chicken nuggets, chips, all that junk food kind of thing. But it really is junk food in those like classic chicken shop places. They just fry it in. They don't really care. They just chuck it out like it's money. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm generalising a bit. Yeah,
I think you are generalising a tiny bit.
But in specific,
I think AJ's really do care.
No, I'm not talking about AJ's. I'm not talking about AJ's. I'm talking about the general chicken shops.
Yeah.
But AJ's is like that general chicken shop. They're the same kind of vibe, but it's like they actually care about the food and they make everything from hand. I'm pretty sure. Like I tried to ask him for the recipe once, but he just didn't give it.
They're really nice.
Yeah, it's run by two guys, Adam Zeno. They're really cool.
Oh, they are very nice. And I went there for the first time with Ollie, and it was like, I don't know, you have the kind of connection with the guys. It's not just, it's not like a commercial restaurant. It's more of a family kind of.
Yeah, it's not like
you feel quite at home, and the food is paying.
Yeah, like they know your names, know your order, like we have a proper chat, like.
Chuck in a few free drinks as well.
Yeah, they're just like mates who serve us chicken, really, aren't they?
Literally mates with.
Yeah, our mates who have a chicken shop, and we just go in there.
When we're on the road, we need to make like meals on wheels with them.
Care packages. Maybe they can be our personal chef.
Yeah, send us our care package. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so sick. I wonder what they're doing now, like in this lockdown stuff. I
feel kind of bad for them. Maybe they've I bet you they're probably working like a side shift somewhere.
I bet I really hope they survive after all this because they're quite a small shop, so there is a chance that they'll.
I need to just check my video, make sure my video is still recording. Bear with me.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of problems we have during these little initial podcasts because DJ Dwight has a camera that it's a DSLR, so it only records for about 30 minutes or something like that. But
right, we're back. I've no idea how much I missed, but. Indeed,
that's all right. That's all right. But yeah, I hope these guys survive. They're lovely lads, and I want the best for them, and they want the best for us, which is sick because they're just a chicken shop. But legends.
Right, I'm going through my notes, and I can't read my own handwriting. That's a classic Dwight move right there.
I want to ask you a question, actually.
Yeah, go on then.
Firstly, we're going to have a quick hand sanitizer break. sanitizer.
Oh, of course, you have to have the hand sanitizer. Look, I've got one in my pocket.
Have you got any? The quick hand sanitizer
break?
break?
Oh, bloody hell. You can edit that, Ollie. I've just opened my hand sanitizer and it squirted everywhere.
Audio only listeners, let's have a listen to the ASMR of the hand sanitizer.
Indeed.
Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Hope you got a bit of pleasure out of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Go on. I'm excited. I'm ready.
This is off the top of my head. Like, I've got no questions here, but
cool.
I'm going to try and say it in the best way I can because my mind is a bit all over the place all the time. Which leads me on to the question.
Go on.
Where do you think you get your characteristic of being? Because to everyone who doesn't know you, you're quite a reserved, shy kind of guy.
Indeed, yeah.
You know, the personality doesn't really come out, but when you get to know you, you're the wackiest guy, and you come up with some crazy stuff. Where do you think you get that personality from? Like,
well, it's a bit of a
sad. What goes on in your head?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sad story, to be fair. If I'm being all honest with you, my previous school, I was there for 3 years, and well, actually no, at primary school I was a cool kid. I had long hair. I was Justin Bieber. I had all the chicks running after me. I was a cool kid. I went to secondary school, and again I'm a cool kid. And then all of a sudden I didn't want to follow these people who were going in some quite sticky directions. I just didn't want to be part of them. So I left the group and I got completely like outsided. And I got left. So for kind of from then till almost now, really. I've kind of just been very, very independent, very self-reserved, and very me. And a lot of things have gone on as well, which have meant me,
I do feel like
steering away from people.
Yeah, I feel like that in the past, maybe, past 2 years or so, you've started to open up a lot more. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I've kind of worked out what's going on in my own life, because I've been, unfortunately, there are some things where I've been developing over the last kind of all my life, really, and I haven't really known how to deal with them. And now, over the last 5 years, and more importantly, over the last 2, I've kind of worked out, who's beside me and who's been a twat, really.
Worked out the mates from the
and it's taken a while. Yeah, it has taken a while though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but and it's also really stupid how some people just don't give a fuck and just like don't want to get to know who you actually are, and they just preconceive.
No, I don't know. Do you think that's the main reason, or do you think there's some underlying reason behind that? Like, I do feel like I don't know. I have a certain hope in people, I guess. Maybe that's wrong of me to have. Like, I always think of good before the bad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you have to, and the same here. Like you should. You have to fully respect someone until they lose that. You can't just have a preconception there and then before that.
Yeah.
You have to trust people, and you have to respect them, and you have to think of them in a really positive light until they prove otherwise.
Yeah.
And even when they prove otherwise, if you're that person you say you are, you should be with them, trying to enlighten them what's going on and help them not to be that person.
It's a shame that, like, I don't know. I do feel that more shy people don't get the,
well,
obviously don't get the spotlight, to actually get the opportunity to.
And what's really interesting on that point, actually, is some of the smartest people in the room are the quietest. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. There are some incredibly bright people who are very, very loud. But some of the most intelligent people are really quiet because they just listen. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They are them. They know exactly what they're doing, and all they do is sit there and listen, and they just absorb.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's a good point. How is this podcast has changed from eating crisps to life lessons? What is going on?
I don't know, but also I guess on our behalf, we've gone through the public system, and what's really struck out to me as well, you have those kids who are really, really humble, and they know where they are, and they know they're very privileged and they have a lot of money, blah blah blah, but they don't. You know, they don't care, and you wouldn't know, and you know they're in that position. But then you have the people, unfortunately, who want to show everyone they have loads of money, even if they don't, or pretend to be in that position.
Yeah.
And they just, and you're going to get caught between kind of two worlds, really, don't you? You got the guys at the bottom. You got the guys who are just really genuine and know they're really privileged, and they don't come from privileged backgrounds at all. Yeah. They're just really genuine. The people who want to be rich, you know, bragging all the time, then the really humble people.
I think the bragging must come. It stems from something else, maybe some other issues.
Jealousy. It's jealousy, isn't it? You know, it has to be, because you know they're surrounded by so many people in privileged positions or not privileged positions, and you got to decide whether you want to be that rich person or you want to be the really, really, you know, humble person. In both
do you think
cases,
it's a part of? Do you think it's a part of trying to fit into the community?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's definitely part of fitting in.
Yeah, that's weird because I never had that when in school and things like that. I've never felt like needing to show off or anything like that.
Well, interesting you say. I mean, obviously you know where I come from, and unfortunately, I mean, people know who people who know who I'm related to are, you know, have always had this preconception that I am some super rich, really, you know, and when I joined the school, like I only literally just got in contact with him, you know, and they thought I was this really, really rich person, and actually I wasn't. I came from a very, very humble background, and my parents, you know, are really working their asses off to get me to the school. I'm not a rich person, but actually I have that one name around me, and all of a sudden I'm this really, really, you know, people expect me to be a multi-millionaire, which is complete false information.
Yeah. And let's not get the story twisted. We're obviously very lucky to you know.
Of course we are.
Have all these things. Look, we're sitting in a beautiful studio, the both of us. Like this is a privilege. This is.
I know. This is it. This is going to be our new space for a few months, isn't it? Whilst we can't do anything.
Yeah, I guess so. I really hope that the lockdown eases up just a little bit. I just want a bit of human interaction, like rather than just sitting in here.
They're talking about, I guess, the 10-person bubble, but I can't see how that's going to work, because unless they limit it to the same 10 people, you know, that's going to be difficult.
I was thinking about this today, right, when I was going to the supermarket. I was thinking about this when going to the supermarket today. We're all fucked because
we are.
I was just thinking, this is what triggered it. Okay. This might make me sound really thick, so sorry to the viewers. I'll try not to be thick, but they have at the front of the supermarket. Obviously, you have the trolleys, and then there's a little table with a disinfectant spray thing that you can like use to disinfect the trolley and things like that.
This. Yeah.
Who disinfects the disinfectant?
That is a question.
Nobody disinfects the disinfectant.
Yeah, everyone's touching but to be fair though, even
we will all get corona at some point. This is like, it was bound to happen, surely. Like,
I guess so. But the whole, I think, I mean, I was talking to Mark Lewis the other day, not the photographer, but he's a biologist. He's actually one of the deans of Loughborough. He's very, very intelligent. And actually, he was saying, you know, the UK government didn't expect to do so well. Their model of social distancing was expected to be basically attended by 70% of the UK population, with 30% rebelling. But actually, it's been 95 plus.
Has it really?
It has. It's been genuinely 95% success rate. And in doing that, actually, it's all about obviously keeping the threshold, you know, below the maximum capacity of the NHS. And actually, we're actually underwhelming our NHS at the moment. We actually need more people to we need to actually get more people exposed to the virus, obviously slowly, but we need to expose people more. So that's why you're seeing all these things like primary schools are maybe going back, or year 10s and 12s maybe going back, because actually we need to. And there are some restrictions that are being lifted very slowly, because
I don't think schools are going to be coming back anytime soon, though.
No, obviously they won't. But what the point is, especially with also the 10-person, that we actually do need to expose people, because currently what's happening is we've got a lot of obviously under capacity of the NHS. Obviously there's loads of people in there. But what he made a really interesting remark is, he said, obviously we have loads of actually I don't want to sound like a Nazi here, like genuinely, you'll see what I'm coming from in a minute. He brought up a really interesting point, because obviously all these really old, you know, grandmas and granddads in their 90s with, you know, already underlying respiratory problems. At some
respiratory.
point, respiratory. Obviously, at some point, these old, grandmas and granddads, they are going to pass away, and that is really sad. But obviously, the corona, if they were to get COVID-19, obviously that would enhance that, and they end up obviously in our hospital beds and dying in hospital beds. But obviously, at some point, unfortunately, they are going to die. They've lived their life, they've had a great life, they've got amazing grandchildren or whatever, but they're not benefiting the UK economically. And also at some point they're 90.
I guess you are. If you're looking at it, it's just statistic. I guess you are correct.
They're 90. They've lived a great life. To be fair, if I was 90 and I wouldn't want to clog up the NHS. But what you mentioned on this is, but there are women and dads and mums who are in their 50s at home. What happens if the mum at home with two kids about to go through school who are gonna develop our country, build our economy. What happens if that mum is too scared now to go into hospital to get her breasts checked, or to get a cancer scan, and actually has cancer, and now actually now mum is at home whereas grandma's in the NHS. The mum needs to be, that would ruin the kids' lives. The mum needs to look after and needs to grow those children for our economy. And she's in her 50s, 60s, whatever, it doesn't matter. She's got 2 kids. But that mum is now staying at home, scared to go into hospital. Where actually, this grandma and this these 90-year-olds, unfortunately, obviously we need to help our old generation. They've done amazing things for us. They got us through, one of the hardest times ever in history. We fully have to respect them. I 100% agree with that. But there is a whole moral problem, And also, I guess it got even deeper. Actually, Ollie, it then started turning into.
This is beyond me.
Then it got even deeper. It did, because obviously we're advancing our technology so much, and we're able to keep humans alive for so long. But obviously, our bodies, like anything, we have an expiry date. Our organs can only live for so long. So how long do we? And then you hit the whole moral of, obviously you got the people who go into Switzerland, or it probably isn't Switzerland, but who take themselves off and they get the lethal injection and they decide to kill themselves at obviously a reasonable age, but because they feel like they're not benefiting anymore, or even in the Amazon rainforest and the tribes and stuff. At some point, the old people, the really old people in the community will just pack a bag in midnight and just walk off into the distance, and they'll just disappear. At what point do we say actually we can't extend human life any longer for moral reasons, because actually it's too difficult? We're all going to die at some point anyway, and actually are we actually hurting human life by keeping us alive for too long? But morally, is it all right to end lives again?
Well, obviously,
what
age?
Anyone to, what is the value of life? What is the value of a human life? At what point do we say, I don't think we can. Our question's going to be asked.
See, look, DJ Dwight is a lot smarter than I am in the brain. I've just had a little mind fuck in my head right now, because it all makes sense, to be fair, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And I think also,
but it's the thing is, nobody wants to die. Come on, if your grandma was to pass away, you'd be fucking pissed.
You'd be devastated. Of course you would. Of course you would. But what's another interesting fact, actually? Again, what Mark brought up. If here we go. If the BBC News or the Sky News were to put on every single morning the amount of people that died today, last year, obviously in general.
I know where this is going.
We would shit ourselves. The amount of people that die on a daily basis anyway, you would absolutely shit yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think this has all been blown up a bit out of proportion then?
I think it has, because what he was saying, he was doing research into. Oh, something just went off. Is everything okay? Yeah,
everything's okay. Hello.
He was doing research into basically a bad flu pandemic, and there was a group of people out in Singapore who were basically trying to track the virus, and some of them were saying 80% of the world population's got it, or some people were saying 5%. Literally no one has a fucking idea who's got it or who hasn't got it.
But well, there's not enough testing, mate, is there?
No, of course there isn't. But also, who wants to get tested with a fucking knob thing stuck right back into their nose? That looks horrible. No way am I getting tested like that.
Do you not like things up your nose?
No.
Are you crazy? Your nose sometimes?
No. But no. But what I was saying was there's limitations for flu. So obviously you have like a good flu year where not many people get it, and it's at like 1 or 2%, and then you have a bad flu, which is like 15%. And currently we're sitting with the coronavirus at 13% or something around there. I could be wrong with the figures, but like currently we're at like if you remove normal deaths and whatever, it's just a bad flu year. It's genuinely just a bad flu year. And obviously, the only difference is, obviously, this flu has developed a little bit, but it's actually, like, it is only just a bad flu.
I think the main thing is, it's a worldwide thing at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, of course
because it's all happened at once. That's why it's such a big deal.
Of course it is.
You know?
I feel like
speaking from my part, I'm fucking not educated enough in this topic to comment. You know? I bet there's going to be some scientific lad in the comments like, oh, you haven't done that. So,
but yeah. It is interesting. I guess...
It is interesting. It is
really interesting.
Should we tell about the time when... this is just before this all kicked off. I wanted to come
hilarious.
see DJ Dwight for a final time. And he had no clue about the scale of this thing. Like,
I had an idea, but I didn't think it was...
No, he needed a wake-up call. He needed a wake-up call. Yeah. And I've been home for a bit. When I was at uni, because I study in Nottingham, I study live events. I had no idea about how, any of this stuff was going on. Like, it was bad at the time. It wasn't as bad as it is now, but it was bad. And so in your own bubble when you're, hanging out with your mates all the time or whatever, and not really watching the news. So the time before I came home, the day before everyone threw a party, like Corona party, it was so stupid. But looking back, it was so stupid. But it wasn't a big deal at the time because it wasn't a big issue. Nobody had Corona really. But
you did the last Friday climax, and I was there for that.
Oh yes, I did. That was fun. That was a fun gig. If I knew that was my last gig, I would have I did give it my all, but I would have. Don't know.
Bro, the big guns.
Reminisced a bit. I don't know. But anywho, so I came home and DJ Dwight here had no idea what was going on. I'd been at home for a day.
I just drove back from London that day, didn't I?
Yeah, you did actually. I was at home for a day and I watched the Sky News 24/7. I was shitting my pants. Sky News is if you're at night by yourself, watch Sky News. It's the worst scary movie you've ever seen because it's real life. It's horrible. Anyways, and I went to go see DJ Dwight the next day. I was pooing my pants. I was like, fuck, I've got all this new information. What's going on? The world is falling to pieces. So I was talking to him about it, and he was like, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll get through it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you need to watch this right now. So he watched news at 10. And DJ Dwight, safe to say, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
After that news at 10, I think you were pooing your pants.
I mean, you didn't sleep, did you? You literally didn't sleep. You were on your phone. No, you didn't. You came downstairs that morning and you were literally been asleep for half an hour.
Really?
Yeah. You literally been asleep for half an hour.
Yeah, my sleeping schedule.
So I slept like a baby, but it did really hit home.
I didn't not sleep because of Corona, just to clarify. I was watching YouTube videos.
Like a strange child. Again, messed up sleeping patterns.
Everyone watches YouTube videos before bed. Come on, that's a relatable thing.
No, I'm quite good when it comes to sleeping. I mean, you know me. I go to bed quite early. I really do need a good night's sleep, but then I get up quite early.
Yeah. So that's why I had fucking half an hour of sleep because he woke me up at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, that was true. We had rock night. No, we didn't.
I don't know what we had. No, we didn't. That's besides the point.
But
Sky News.
But again, is it who's been following Mr. Trump? He said. Actually, I'm going to go. I'm going to go through.
We're not going all political on this podcast.
I'm going through this real quickly.
God, I don't know if we should go through this, mate. We've had a nice talk about biscuits and crisps, and
he was testing.
Going on to this.
No, he was testing fake news, as it were, and has said, on live national and global TV to reporters, injecting yourself with disinfectant like bleach.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're all aware of this. Aware of this. I don't think we need
and then
to go
calls
through it
out.
Again.
Well, that's outrageous. How? No.
I think it's more outrageous. Mate, it's more outrageous how he dodges the fucking news all the time. Of literally any question he gets, fake news.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's outrageous though how that even got publicised. I think that's outright. How can you tell an entire? Because I'm not being funny. How many of Americans and like people around the world will have seen that and not seen the aftermath, and now go around injecting themselves with because
I'm sure there is some people. To be honest,
it's sad. How who let that out there? You know,
right.
Where's the barrier?
Politics section
politics
over. Okay,
we're done.
We're done with politics. No more politics.
Politics is out the window. Yeah.
Right, let's do something. Let's change us back to a happy topic. You know,
the sun's come out outside. You know, it was raining. When we started.
We're being told to do something happy right now by the sun. Okay.
Yeah. Indeed.
Let's bring it back.
That's reminded me of the song.
What can we bring it back to?
The sound of the old school.
Maybe we should talk a little bit about.
Oh, Bramble.
What would you? Bramble?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Bramble?
How many of your listeners who listen to your music know you have a pet?
Probably none. Maybe one or two. I post it on my story sometimes.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder how many people.
Should we talk about Buster?
Buster, yeah, but if we talk about Buster, it get quite sad.
Well, oh yeah. Let's not take it sad again.
Although to be fair, there's a puppy at the farm called Lottie, and she's the cutest puppy. Oh my days! I really want a golden like a baby. I want loads of baby
puppy. Yeah.
Golden retriever puppies. Oh, they are so cute.
Yeah.
They are so cute.
There was someone who lived nearby me who had like was breeding a bunch of golden retriever puppies, and there was like 20 of them in this little pen.
Bloody hell! That would have been one.
Oh, is it illegal?
Well, I mean, 20 is that full ban for the fucking.
Maybe not 20. Maybe that was an over exaggeration.
Doing about 6 to 8.
But it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
There was like 2 in each hand, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Per person. So. Oh.
You've been interrupted.
I've been interrupted.
I'm going to take over. At the farm where Lottie is, every couple of months, we get the hunters who, like, obviously we fake hunt because we're not, it's illegal and it's obviously mean to real hunt, but we have the hounds, the hound dogs, and we have the horses in there, all a really cool uniform. It's really interesting. But the farm, the front garden is all like fenced off and it's all gated. And I'm not kidding, it's quite a big lawn, and there must be between 30 to 60 hounds, from puppies to like old hounds, and it is just like insane. If you love,
is this at the farm?
Yeah, if you love, because every couple of months we do the fake hunts, and there are like flipping. There's on that literally every hunt there's between 30 and 60 hounds, and you walk in the front garden with all these hounds, and it's just ridiculous. You get like if you love dogs. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of dog lovers out there.
I mean, I'm not big. I don't mind cats, but I'm more of a dog man myself.
I don't mind a cat. I don't mind a cat
either, but it's not mine.
I've grown on the cats have grown on me because there's this place in Nottingham which is. I've got the hiccups now. I wish I had some water. There's this place in Nottingham which is like a cafe, but it's like a kitten cafe. So there's like loads of kittens running around and like.
That's so cute.
You have to pay to get in though. You have to pay £5 to get in, I think. It's a rip-off. But if you're going on a nice little date with a special lady, maybe DJ Dwight, you can bring your missus there.
Yeah, take her to the cat heaven.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice. Little cute date. We'll have some tea and crumpets with some cats running around.
Tea and crumpets. Gone very,
that'd be
very
quite nice.
English. I do prefer an old Victoria sponge cake myself.
What do you think is what was your first date with Liv?
My first.
Have you had a first date?
Our first proper date was BBC Young Introducing, actually.
Oh yeah, that's where the Spotify for Artists bottle came from.
Indeed, that was our first. Obviously, we met up before that, but that was our first.
Was that a proper date?
Yeah,
though?
that was a
proper date.
Yeah, I think so. I'd class that as a proper date. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah, well, on date terms, yeah.
Did you have a sit down meal and things like that afterwards, or?
No, we did have a meal. Yeah, we had lunch and then obviously a meal after.
Wow.
We did indeed.
Did you pay?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I would have paid, but I don't think I was allowed to pay.
Oh, that's what we like. Yes.
So, yeah.
Free food. There's nothing better.
I paid for myself, and she paid for herself. She wouldn't let me pay for her.
Yeah, that's sick. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how a relationship should be.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, first date wise.
Oh God.
Like, I don't know what some of my first date. I think with one of the first dates I've had was a trip to Tesco.
Wow. That is an exhilarating first date.
It was good. It was a nice little. I don't know if it would be classed as a date, really, but it was a nice
changing topics slightly.
Yeah.
You and your. Hi, Dad. Okay, bear with me. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, guys. I've been interrupted by the old father. He's coming to.
Is it dinner time?
He's coming. It's din-dins. Yeah, another shit dinner.
Oh, maybe we could interview him one day about his cooking skills.
Well, yeah. Well, then we'll wrap up on this last note.
Go on then.
Talking about trips, I feel like trips to supermarkets. I think you and Vera had a date. I remember at a supermarket a few times.
Oh, we have lots of supermarket dates. Basically, me and Ollie, we call him Vera, but his real name's Ollie. Just to clarify for all the viewers, because it was like, who's Vera?
Ollie. Oi.
We have 3 Ollies. What the hell?
I'm taking over, man.
So yeah, we last summer, I believe. Was it last summer? I think it was.
Probably.
We used to go to the supermarket quite a lot. He'd just send me a text saying, meet me in the baked goods aisle at 3 a.m. And I'd meet him in the baked goods aisle at 3 in the morning. Because it's a 24-hour supermarket, and then we'd go get some nice snacks and then come back to the studio here. It didn't used to look like this, but like the TV was there. We'd like sit down at the sofa, like watch them take me out, you know. It was good.
Sounds like good times. And then he fucked off to the other side of the world, so.
Yeah, and then he went to America. So.
I mean,
he's stuck there now, isn't he?
Indeed. I mean, I don't understand.
Well, he's not stuck there, but he's just choosing to be there.
I mean,
instead of coming back.
Yeah, the whole thing about his passport. Even if he didn't have one, he still would have been able to come home with the British Embassy, 100%. They would have made an exception.
He could have come back quite easily, I think.
Of course, he could have done. Maybe that's a question we'll ask him. Why the fuck didn't you want to come back?
Yeah, maybe we'll get him on the next episode. Leave in the comments below what
Who's next?
Guests you want to see us have, like people I know, maybe just people who we can reach out to or whatever. Like any guest is welcome. It doesn't matter what the guest.
Send your questions in as well. If you have any interesting questions you want to ask us for it to address.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this whole format, and like if there's any questions that you need answering. I've seen it on other podcasts.
Hold on,
like
my camera has just decided to just blow up. Hold on. You can continue talking. Continue.
Yeah, I'll continue. Yeah, if you've got any questions, I'd love to hear it, because it would be cool to have some sections where we answer like viewers' questions and things like that. So if you have any issues or anything going on in your personal life and you want some expert advice from me and Mr. Dwight over here.
Yeah, or even we could even do a section where we just have an open Discord. So if you have any questions, you can.
I don't know about that open Discord there. We've got to maintain the high quality, the high audio.
What about the one joke go? When you let people into Discord and it's like one joke go.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to be following in KSI's footsteps here. That's a topic for another video. But I like this format that we got going on. It's been quite nice. Just have a little chat for.
We need to get the second. I've got a second camera actually. That does remind me. I can set up another camera so you get the sofa.
Yeah. Hopefully we will be able to do this in real life sooner rather than later, because
indeed.
I don't know how long this lockdown's going to go on for. I guess if we weren't recording this, we would have found out, because Boris is doing his announcement, but we missed that, haven't we?
Indeed, I've got a shitty dinner to go to as well. Hopefully, actually, to be fair, I don't think it is a shitty dinner. That will be explained in another episode.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Right. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'll put. Oh fuck! I don't know how much was cut out. Right. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye. Fuck me. That was awful. That ending.